All right. So a pleasant afternoon. It's 1 p.m. in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, and then of course it's 3 p.m. in Tanzania, if you're watching from Tanzania. So why do I have to mention Tanzania in today's episode or in today's master's class? Although the reason is simple and obvious. We have a very big fish. Although his root is from Nigeria, but again, he's operating and practicing in Tanzania, and has been of immense resource in Tanzania. Today is going to really be an interesting episode because the quality of the person we have, and not just the quality, the passion he has, it's astonishing. I heard him talk first time like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and immediately after his session, I knew he was the quality we needed to help us transform the trajectory young veterinarians, young animal health professionals are taking and make it upward. With so much intelligence, with so much passion, he was able to simplify and encourage us in the path that I think if all young vets or all young animal health professionals or farmers, whoever you may be watching this episode, I realized that if we could take or heed to his advice, then the sky will not just be our limit, the sky will be our starting point. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you somebody we all hold in high esteem. Uh, Two PhDs, a professor, and then, of course, a veterinarian, the country lead of Hector and FAO, first in Kenya, but now in Tanzania. Audience, I want us to welcome the Professor, Professor Fasina for Lauren Shaw. Good afternoon, Prof.
Yeah, good afternoon.
All right, it's
How
good
are
to
you?
have you on board in our today's master class. We are open, we're willing to learn from your wealth of experience, and we know that we'll have quite a handful of valuable lessons to pick from you. All right, so where do we start? People say youths are lazy, right? Sometimes people say Africa. I really don't want to use the word that probably Africa is a dark continent that throw away its talent. But you have reason from these kind of comments to the position you are. We look at you, we admire you, we recognize the strides that you have taken. We know that there's a reason why you're where you are. And today, the teeming youth in Africa wants to learn from you. What got you to this position, and how can we get to this position? So let's have you. For the first 15 minutes, we're going to be giving you, and then we'll enter into some interactive session where we'll be asking you questions, especially in areas that we are not clear of. Prof, it's over to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for organizing this meeting, one, and for inviting me. I really does not take it for granted. And well, people may say Africa is a dark continent. In darkness, there is beauty, and you can get the best out of dark things. Indeed, dark color is one of the best color you can actually have as a person, because in whatever situation, your color hardly change. If you are light skinned, when you are blushing, you change to red, and when you die, you turn to blue. So it's better to be black. If that is the compliment for Africa, as far as I'm concerned. With regards to choosing the profession, the field of animal health, I tell you, is one of the best decisions I made personally. I chose to be a vet when I was in primary four. And so it was an easy decision going through secondary school, going to the university. Indeed, by the time I was finishing secondary school, I want to fill my jam form. I remembered 4 or 5 of my classmates then. They don't know what vet medicine is all about, but because I've so much spoken about vet medicine, they just feel vet medicine with me. Fortunately, one of them also qualified as a vet, and we are practicing together. He is still practicing in Nigeria. But I tell you, vet profession is a very interesting profession. I made a presentation which cannot be shared at this forum, but I believe that the presenter may be able to share it later. I don't know if you can see my share screen.
Okay, no, so we'll not. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but if you can't see my share screen, is still fine. I will present. You can have it later. Can you have the share screen now?
Yes, we can. So go ahead.
Okay. So I'll be talking about the opportunities available to animal health professional in Africa. Well, you call it a master class, so you should think and see yourself as a master. So I would say exploring the profession, the motivation has to be there if you really want to be on top, because it's a once you enter a profession, you are joining a competition. So you need to create an edge for yourself to be able to thrive. First, I put it as a being a vet, there's a promise. You will live an interesting life, but you may not always be rich. So, if you want to be rich, in addition to being a vet, that is the second phase. But in terms of living an interesting life, you will live one. I just put some pictures on this side. This is a picture of Gumti Gashaka National Park. It's once in a lifetime experience we had in this park then. I used to work with the National Vet Research Institute, and we were called by the authority of the national park that there was some wild animal with FMD, and we decide, oh, we are going to go there and explore and treat all the animal or take sample, do everything. We budget like 5 days for ourselves, and we planned and we shifted up to Taraba, Adamawa, Taraba. We entered when we got to the national park, they gave us the accommodation and everything. As of that time, that was in 2007, I think. And the man told us, the director of the park told us, you guys, when do you plan to go back? We said, no, we'll finish in about 5 days' time and we'll go back. The man laughed. After he laughed, he said, just take this phone. At that time, we used to have Turaya. He gave us the Turaya. He said, each of you should call your family, tell them that you arrived safely, and when they see you back, you have come back. Just forget about when you are going. We say, no, sir, we are professional. We know what we are doing. We are here 5 days, we finish, and we go back. He said, okay, you just take the phone and call. So we made the different calls to our families. And the second day, he told us which car, the car we went with is the four-wheel pickup. So he told us, just park the pickup. They brought in some Land Rover, put us in the Land Rover, and said we should begin to drive into the wildlife park. So we're thinking, what's this man thinking? We have our own four-wheel drive also. He said, no, you just park it. So we drove with the Land Rover for about 3 hours. We got to the first water. You can see the water down here. Each of us enter a boat, this small boat, with a motorcycle. We crossed the first river. Then the motorcycle took us for another 1.5 hours into the bush. We entered the second boat with the river again. Then, when we crossed the second river, the motorcycle drove us for another 1.5 hours. We got to a center in the bush, which is called the location where the German built that center. And we thought we've arrived. Do you know that day we trekked from about 11:30 in the morning, and those of us who got earliest to the peak of the mountain where we are going, we got there around 8:30 in the night, trekking for 8 hours in the bush, going to nowhere you don't know. We practically know where we are going to. Indeed, the old man that followed us, that was the assistant director who went with us, we have to leave him behind because he almost fainted midway, and we left him behind with one of the guard with gun, and he arrived to join us about 3 hours after. So it's an interesting experience. When we got to the peak of the mountain, forget about all this bacteriology they taught us. They taught you that, oh, don't drink unpasteurized milk or so. That is the only food we have. Unless we want to be eating local food, we have the unpasteurized fura de nunu. We have all these food fresh and open. Indeed, the water, the best water we get is water we are drinking from the mountain. And we spent 10 days in the bush before we came down. So that's why I said your life will be interesting as a vet, but you may not always be rich. So being rich is another phase. You can see, you look at this, all these animal and all those things, thinking of you as the one who can manage them. You see yourself like living in the Garden of Eden. That is what vet medicine can give you. But let's start from the frustration, because we should not shy away from it that everything is rosy for the vet. We know there are a lot of sources of frustration. Indeed, among the professions in the world, especially in the developed world, vets are some of the people that are most susceptible to committing suicide. And there are some bases behind it. One, low pay and lack of benefits sometimes affect some veterinarians.
Oh, so we lost him, but I figured that he will be back shortly. I thought there was something wrong with my own network. So please, let's kindly stay tuned. Our resource person will be back. He will be sharing on something I think will be very important, especially for every one of us. Uh, the opportunities available. He has told me that he's going to be talking something more comprehensive, share the lifestyle, share the difficulty, and then of course share the opportunity. So I want us all to just hang in while we try to get him back. And so again, if you've not, let me take this opportunity. Okay, it's coming up. Let me take this opportunity to tell us that if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you are missing a lot. So it's a perfect time to click on the subscription button, so that for every time we have an opportunity to have this get going, you can also participate. We have quite a handful of for lineup of master classes for your own benefit. So subscribe, and then once this video is done, you will also have an opportunity to share. Okay, Professor Fasina is back.
Okay.
All right, good to have you back.
Yes, sorry, the thing went off. I was just talking about the life you can live as a vet and some of the frustration that you encounter as a vet. So with regards to possible career paths, I'm sure you'll be able to get the presentation later from him. One, vet, you can go into the field of diagnostics, wherein you are part of development of kits, diagnostic kits. You can work in the teaching hospital, in vet pathology lab, in clinical pathology laboratories. You can work in the general laboratories. But if you are choosing this career path, you have to think of a postgraduate studies in microbiology, virology, pathology, or such field that will be relevant to you. But if you choose also to go into the field of consultation and clinical medicine, yes, these are where you do businesses. You can have your private practices. You can go into consultation for ranches, for dairies, for poultry farms, for meat processing facilities, and for a number of other such group of activities. But I will encourage you to think of an advanced skill and experience, because you need some thorough experience, because some farmers really are knowledgeable and they can mess you up if you don't know your onions as a vet. You can also think of the farm or the food industry, wherein you are thinking of farm, the livestock centers, pharmaceutical centers or pharmaceutical industry, feed mills, and supply centers, supplies, maybe input supplies and all those things. If you have passion for livestock and you have the knowledge of the industry, or you are willing to learn about the knowledge of the industry, this may be a good path for you. Indeed, this is what I thought I would become before I was pushed to become a research veterinarian. You can think of public health and regulatory aspect of veterinary medicine. For example, like people that work in NAFDAC, people that work in the Vet Council, people that work in the regulatory agencies, people that work with the public health laboratory like African CDC and some of those institutions. This is where they found themselves. People that work in OIE and some of those institutions, they, they belong to this category. In this case, you may not necessarily need very high sounding postgraduate degree, but you need to begin to then tune yourself to policy making, to regulations, and to improving yourself. I've known vets who also have degree in law because he want to go into this field and is one of the director in one of such institution now. You can go into biomedical research, biomedicine, where you talk of research center, you talk of lab animal, biologics, vaccines, test center for human and animal, molecular biology, field of virology, and all those things. For this field, you may also need to think of postgraduate program that is aligned to what you want to do. It's good to make your choice early so that you can begin to pursue your career with passion. And if you decide to go into education, maybe you want to teach in the medical school, vet school, agric school, school of zoology, research centers, and things like that. The type of postgraduate training you need is similar to if you are in the field of biomedicine. So the next set of questions, because these are critical questions you need to ask, especially for people who are just transiting from being a graduate into the workplace. One, what tickles you? What are the things that interest you when you are in school? Because as a vet, for example, or in the field of animal health, the field is just so vast that you can be lost in the midst of the ocean. So before you graduate, you need to begin to know what tickle my interest. What, for example, myself, when I was graduating, I was thinking I would either be an abattoir veterinarian. I even promised my mother, don't worry, I'll be supplying you with fresh meat all the time. Or I will go into poultry and all those things. But by the time I went for my National Youth Service Corps, the director I work with, he saw something in me. I said, young man, once you finish, we are retaining you and sending you straight to a research institution. And that was how I found myself in research. I never ever dreamed of research in my life. So you also need to think, what do I enjoy? What do I enjoy doing? You also need to think is sometimes it may be wrong to make an honest mistake. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And don't be afraid to test the waters. And you don't have to be jack of all trades. Don't think, oh, I will do everything. If you begin to think I'll do this, I move to that, then you will not be focused in pursuing something. Then you need to think of it also. How do I develop my passion? What are those things you like, and how are you pursuing it? And are you working with like minds? For example, if I want to, I'm thinking of graduating and starting a clinic. Some of my colleagues were in the university together who also think of starting a clinic. If I don't have enough resources to start on my own, can we collaborate and start together? Or can we share experience, which will help both of us? Then how do you select your models, your role models, either secret or open model? For example, if you are thinking of going into pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria, you should be thinking of Adamo, you should be thinking of Bluebird, you should be thinking of animal care. Some of these people who are giants already in that field, begin to look at their lifestyle, look at how they made it, and begin to think of how you will avoid the mistakes they made. If you are thinking of a lecturing job, you need to begin to think, who are the likely candidates I want to follow within the university system? So that is important. Then how do I package myself and create networks? This is very important. You know, it's one of the soft skills we are not taught in school, but they are absolutely necessary. For example, I do say when I went for my National Youth Service, when we finished in the camp, we were given the letter to go and submit at the ministry. When we came to submit our letter, we submitted, everybody left because we were told to resume the next week. I insisted, I said, I'm not leaving. I want to see the director I'm going to work with. The secretary said, oh, the director is very busy. He won't see me. I will wait. So I waited the whole of that day. But at the end of the day, I saw the director and I told him point blank, sir, I want to be proud by the time I'm finishing this ministry. I want the ministry also to make sure they pay me all my entitlements. But I can assure you, I will put in my best within the 1 year. That single decision of that day changed everything about me, because the man took an instant liking to me. That day, they gave me 3-bedroom flat in my Tama in Abuja and all those things. So everything become comfortable. By the time the other colleague came the following week and they were saying, how can they give you accommodation and they didn't give us? They begin to make noise. The ministry told them point blank, sorry, this is a privilege and not a right. If you don't want, we can reject you. You can go back. So at times, you need to be able to take some critical decision and stand by your conviction. Because I said, how can I work for 1 year and I don't know the person I'm working with? That's one thing. So it's a way of creating network. I've sat with somebody at the airport before, and I know we are traveling the same direction. And I began to chat the woman up. You know, at the end of the day, I found out the woman is actually the cousin to the president of Tanzania. And by the time we got to Tanzania, we came in the plane together. She arranged a meeting with me. I met with the sister to the president. I met with quite a number of the family. I'm even helping them to set up a farm here in Tanzania now. So you don't waste any opportunity you have around yourself. You need to think of creating the right environment, creating the right network, and using it rightly. So how do you create your own network and establish it and expand it is important. And you need to be stubborn at times. Stubbornness is not wrong all the time. You need to stick to your conviction and be stubborn and get the best out of the situation. Then you need to set your benchmark. What is the minimum I will take? Below what criteria will I not go? For example, when we were finishing and we were to go for postgraduate training, I went to Ibadan. I got a postgraduate form for people. They were asking, oh, are you not taking for yourself? I said, I'm not doing my postgraduate in Nigeria. As of that time I was talking, I have only 5,000 naira left in my account. I couldn't afford any postgraduate training abroad, but I insisted I'm not doing postgraduate in Nigeria. So I ended up getting a master's. I have 5 scholarships for my master's. So I was able to expand it as much as I want. As I was finishing the master's, I went to make a presentation in France. I got a PhD scholarship and an award of 2,000 euro. So I was able to proceed straight to my PhD. So you need to be able to decide what you want for yourself and pursue it. I saw recently a young Nigerian who posted online. He was doing his PhD now in Canada. He said he was rejected 37 times before he got, he has a strong conviction. So he was able to pursue his conviction and he was able to get what he wants. So some of the other basic questions which you can think of is, are you frustrated being a vet? Well, why are you frustrated? What are the things you can do? For example, just Dr. Google can make you frustrated as a vet. You are talking to your client, but your client is able to Google everything. I tell you, doctor, why do you want to charge me that much? Is it not this that you will do? So you think of it, but you see, you can convert all these challenges to opportunities as far as I'm concerned. One, I'll give some of the experience and the lesson I learned personally from it. I call one the cat and the pig. I was in South Africa in the Underseaport Veterinary Animal Hospital. And this cat was brought in, one small cat. And the owner, when we told him about the challenges, that cat needs to undergo surgery. This man put down 12,000 rand immediately. 12,000 rand at that time is more than $1,000. And he said we should proceed. And if we need anything more, we should ask. But within 30 minutes of that time, they brought in another pig, a whole full-fledged pig, about 100 kilograms. And when we talked to the owner of the pig, he just said, put down the animal, because the worth of the pig as of that time is just less than 1,200 rand. So I now look at it. This big pig compared to this small cat, that means this small cat is more valuable than the pig as far as we are concerned. So that taught me the value of the issue of value. You see, the importance, the worth and the usefulness you attach to anything is very relevant to how you see it. So also, I talk of use every opportunity. I've given some instance like how I met some of the family of the president and things like that. Another thing is I once when I was still working in South Africa, we used to take students out and we take them from farm to farm. So I know one of the popular pigs in South Africa is pot belly pigs. So I had experience with 2 individuals. One is a mining executive. He was actually the chairman of the biggest mine in South Africa. So by all standards, this guy is a multi-billionaire. And I met another woman who has chain of businesses. She was white and she also has a pot-belly pig. So I took students to those places and we went, we do trimming for those animals, we groom them and all those things. And then every time we go, the students actually love to go there. Because every time we go, it's a party day. They will cook all manners of food for us. We will eat breakfast, we eat lunch and all those things. So what do I have to get in this? This taught me the value of happiness. You see, what you attach emotion to, the state of characterization you give to anything, the satisfaction you get from them, the contentment and fulfillment is a matter of happiness. These guys are these individuals, they are rich, they can get anything they want. Indeed, they can buy like 1,000 pigs and slaughter at a time. But they pick interest in one pet because I got to learn about the history of some of these pets. Indeed, one of them was adopted. And this adopted pet, do you know that this pig has TV in its room? The pig has TV in its room. The pig must drink milk every morning, and the pig must be groomed on like 2-3 weekly basis. So by the time I look at this pig, indeed, I remember one of the students commented, he said, "Ma, can I also come and be one of your pigs?" So that shows you the state of mind these people have. Also, you need to understand that when you are out of control, somebody is ready to take over. I've seen we vets, we fall into this not too long ago when we abandoned the issue of veterinary pharmacy. You see, the pharmacy profession immediately begin to want to take over because they know there are opportunities there. So if we leave aspect of our profession without exploring it, somebody is ready to take control over quickly because the nature leave room for no vacuum. When we, at a point in time, we know the animal scientists and all those things, they were thinking of taking over all the farms, say you must register all the farm under them and all those things. So also luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. If you are not prepared with an opportunity, you will have that opportunity, it will pass you by without achieving anything. So luck is what you have when your preparation meets opportunity. So be ready to jump at an opportunity. And the question then is that, are there still opportunities? Because I remember when I was in the 4th year, one of my young lecturer then, he's a professor now, he mentioned something, he said, what can we do again? All these old people have finished everything. Indeed, I don't know what you can do again. Indeed, I said one day I will still meet him. I will ask him, sir, so how did you become a professor if everything has been done? So one of the immediate opportunity we have around us, this issue of ravaging insecurity around pastoral insurgency. What are we as vets thinking of? For example, I expect the MVMA to begin to think and plan now. Okay, now insecurity, ravaging insecurity, and all these things happening, and government is thinking of creating maybe ranching and areas that will be secluded for ranching. Are we thinking of setting up veterinary clinics? It can be MVMA set up veterinary clinic, and they will now employ young veterinarians to manage it. We can begin to think of setting up feed mills around this facility. We can begin to set up input supplies. Those animals will need cotton seed cake, they will need feed, they will need all those things. You can begin to think of, I want to do my postgraduate program in nutrition so that I can serve nutrition to this set of farms they will be creating. We can think of One Health and antimicrobial field. Indeed, in the presentation, I shared the example of the One Health Development Initiative. It was set up by Kikiokwe, one of our young veterinarians, not too young, but still young veterinarian. She saw that need, opportunities in One Health and antimicrobial. She started this organization, she moved it online, now she's global. Our organization, indeed, now currently they are trying to recruit 3 or 4 more officers for the organization. She's a young person sitting in Abuja there and making her waves in her field. I know she's known as far as any One Health Commission is anywhere in the world. They understand and know her. You can think of field of public health. There are opportunities there for us, even now as we speak. For example, NCDC is there in Abuja. How many vets are there? We have so many other institutions. How many vets are there? You are thinking of, COVID-19, for example.
I just won a grant of $400,000 for COVID-19 just last week. Now you think, what does a vet need to do in COVID-19? I spoke with the USA and I told them, I said, why do you think vets don't have anything to do with COVID-19? I said, COVID-19, for example, look at it. We have the farmers, we have the unreached people. I told them we went to do some work on ASF. And I said, I was talking to the people in the rural area. They know practically nothing about COVID-19. We want to be involved in spreading awareness to the unreached people. They say, okay, put up your proposal. I put up a proposal. In 1 week, it was approved. And we got 400,000 now to use.
$400,000
for US dollars, which we will use for that purpose now in Tanzania. So don't think that there are no opportunities for you. You see, the more critical or the more keen you can look around you, the more opportunities you can have.
Exactly.
As a professional. You can think of partnering with academic and research institutions. Do you know that recently, one of the challenges of our research institution is that people cannot do cutting-edge research. Why? Because they say, oh, the government is not providing enough resources to the university to have maybe all this research center. Why don't you think of, even maybe if it's teaming up 4, 5, 6 of you, you set up a research center, maybe Ibadan cluster for a research center, maybe Lagos cluster, you set them up like that, you offer those facilities. Any researcher want to do good work, because I tell you, researchers in Nigeria, they want to do good work. You want to do good work, we have facility here, we have PCR machine, we have this, you can come and do your work here. Are you telling me somebody who can pay 5, 6 million to go to South Africa, India, and all those places to do research will not be willing to pay 3 million to come and use your facility if you know you will get everything? They will be willing. And through that, you already created another stream of opportunities for the animal health professional. You can think of partnering with for example, local government. I will show you some data that shows you how much shortfall we have even in the local government in Nigeria. You can go beyond the local network. You can think of outside. Are you making your presence known on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, or you just use those tools to chit chat and talk and play and all those things? Do you talk about yourself? Do you talk about what you are doing on those platforms also? You can think of, okay, teaming up to form private cooperative farms. You can set up maybe you can set up things like cooperative farm, piggery, poultry, dairy. You can offer training as vets. You can decide, oh, I want to be training farmers and all those things. In addition to this thing, you can do animal health related online. Now I see that there are people are moving to e-health, where they created online platform for training or online platform for offering health services, and people are making it. I've done consultation with such medical doctor before. You tell them your problem, they just enter your problem into their computer. Once they click, the result will come out. They give you diagnosis and pay $500 or pay €200 or pay this to their this, and you pay. You pay happily, thinking that they've done something significant, but there's nothing new. For example, in Nigeria, we have over 9,000 vets on the register, on the vet council register, but the total number in active practice are just about 3,500, leaving a huge gap. Where are the remaining vets? The total need of the local government alone, the shortfall in the local governments in Nigeria, the 774 local government, is 3,870 vets as of the last count. If we look at the total number of cows in Nigeria, which is over 18 million, that means for every vet, including those that are not working, each of them has 2,044 cows to handle. Each of them has about 4,822 sheep to handle. Each of them has about 8,444 goats to handle. And each of them has over 20,000 chickens to handle. So how are you now telling me there is no job for the vets? We don't create the opportunity for ourselves. It's different from there is no job. The vet, the animal health technician, the animal health scientist, every one of us put together, we are not enough to actually handle the challenges we have in Nigeria at the moment. Let me give you some perspective wider than Nigeria. For example, some selected institutions in Africa where vets can have opportunity. We have International Livestock Research Institute there. It's in Kenya. It has a branch in IITA in Nigeria, has branches in most part of Africa. You have the FAO, You have so many other UN agencies, like the World Food Program. World Food Program is the largest UN agency in terms of the total number of workforce. I think they have over 20,000 workforce. And they take, including vets, into administrative position, into management position, into so many positions. You have International Fund for Agri Development. You have the World Health Organization. Indeed, currently, World Health Organization, OIE, and FAO, they are joining to form another body now they call CJW, which will be like a One Health body. And they are recruiting people actively into these institutions. You have the African Union Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources, AUIBA. You have African CDC. I know some vets that have moved to African CDC. You have African Development Bank. I know vets who have moved to African Development Bank and become directors there as we speak. You have regional organizations. ECOWAS recently recruited some vets. I don't know if you are aware and if any one of you applied. The EAC, East African Community, SADC, South African Development Community, IGAD, Intergovernmental Agency for Development. So there are so many institutions. If you don't know, you see, if you are hungry and there is food in front of you, but you don't know the food is meant for you and you die of hunger, who is to blame? It's you. Yeah, so you have the non-governmental organization, the community-based organization, the faith-based organizations. You have the vet research institutions in the different countries. You have the universities and regional research centers. You have wildlife institutions. And you have so many continental, regional, and national One Health institutions. And all these are actively recruiting vets. And if you are thinking, oh, I want to pursue dollars, it's money I want, you can think of emigrating. US alone lack more than 20,000 vets as we speak. US, I am telling you a statement of fact. If you are applying to Australia as a vet now, you already score almost enough mark to qualify you entry into Australia to come and reside there. If you are going to Europe, you have opportunity in UK and so many countries. Canada, the same thing. So if you think, oh, I want to go earn dollars, then you have opportunity to migrate and go make your money elsewhere and then come and establish other opportunities in Africa. So these are some of the things I would like to highlight. I can take questions. I will be able to respond to your questions and maybe make some clarification. Thank you.
Prof, you know, this was the brilliance you exhibited the last time that got me restless. And it's a fantastic presentation you've made. I'm going to be asking a few questions because, you know, sometimes, you know, I stay with the youths and I know how they think. But again, I need to acknowledge people who are online. Thank you very much for being online. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I think this is the best time to do that. You also have the opportunity to share the video for more animal health professionals, vets, and those in the field to watch this live broadcast once we're done. Keep your comment coming. I see people already thanking you. Well done, Prof. I'm going to be sharing, that's from Olatunji Nasiru. Salami Messi is also online. Victor Oriako, I think is a vet. Okay, I know he's a vet. So we have quite a handful of people watching. So all you just need to do, if you're online watching, go to the comment button, tell us where you're watching from, and then we'll, from time to time, acknowledge you and then have you also recognized. Prof, most youths in Nigeria, you know, when I see the energy at which you talk, I could see that you think possibility, because the average vet in itself will not even go to meet the director. The average vet just think that everybody hates him. You know, there's this notion here in Nigeria, I don't know what it is in Tanzania, that is man no man. They are defeated before they even make an attempt. Like they feel like they will be victimized. How do the average young vet move from this pessimistic mindset? And I know what I'm talking about, Prof. Being pessimist to being an optimist. How do you know, Nigeria is bad, is man no man, the continent is dark, there are no opportunities. How do one move from that way of thinking to your own way where you think everything is possible? Because I've seen from your story, you practically just bullied yourself to the top, right? So how do people get that kind of energy and move forward? Thank you. I see Adewale Ade is saying he's watching from Sokoto. somebody watching from Lagos or Gere. Thank you. Just keep the comments coming. Go ahead, Prof.
Thank you. Yeah, your question is very valid. And before I answer that question, let me tell another short story. My father was a teacher. He retired as a principal, and my mom was also a teacher. So I come from the teacher's family. By the time I was doing my national service, my father had already gone to the ministry and tried to help me talk to them so that if this boy finish and he has nothing to do, he can start with teaching and then move to something else. So I shocked him when I came back home and I said, me, I'm not coming back because I already have something I'm doing. So he was wondering, how did you do it? I said, you don't need to bother yourself. The thing is that moving from being a pessimist to being an optimist, one, you need to have a conviction. You need to believe in yourself first. It's basic. If you don't believe in yourself, having a changed mentality will be difficult from you. Then you need to also begin to work with like mind. For example, I served in the AVMS executive, and while we are students, we're already moving with people like Dr. Tunji Nasir. Yeah, those are our role models then.
Dr. Tunji Nasir is also watching.
Yes, we are moving with Dr. Ransom Kuti in Lagos. I've met with Baba Animal Care, Olatunde Agbato. We begin to move with all these type of people. So we begin to see, oh, so it's possible. If this person can do it, I can do it. I spoke with Dr. Agbato. He told me how he first do 1 year as a lecturer in Ibadan. Then he decided, no, I'm quitting. I don't want to be a lecturer. I don't want to collect peanuts. And he went to start something. People were calling him crazy then. Let me tell you also what we do, like in the University of Pretoria. What we do is that in the final year, students are actually not doing classroom work. In the final year, the whole of the 12 months of final year is on rotation. They do clinical rotation. And it's actually to give them opportunity to expose them to the field, to give them confidence, to give them boost. So in that final year, they are divided into clinical rotation of 4 weeks each. So during each week, we take them either to farm or to clinic or to this place, and we make sure they take control. They actually operate as the vet in that practice. So by the time most of them graduate after the 1 year of the clinical rotation, they've already built some degree of confidence. So it's one of the things we can think of introducing in our system in Nigeria. Our own system or our own structure may be a bit different, but we need to begin to think of exposing our students. We are not only dealing with animals. You are dealing with people that own those animals. You are going to deal with the society. You are going to deal with people. You are going to deal with politicians. You are going to deal with so many people. So why are you tying yourself only to animals? Why don't you begin? For example, the first MVMA Congress I attended, I was in 300 level. I insisted I would go. And I go to Kaduna and I attended the MVMA Congress. They said I should pay. I said, I'm not paying. I'm a student. I just come to observe what is happening in MVMA Congress. And I was allowed to attend the full Congress, everything, including dinner, everything. We had the dinner at the government house, I remember then, Kaduna. So this is the mindset we need to begin to create. Build confidence in our youth and let them know that you can do it. Each and every one of us has got the guts. I know our primary, secondary education somehow also restrict people behind. We need to begin to take charge and know that we can do it.
Thank you so very much, Prof. I see Dr. Charles Ibe is also, I think he's watching from London. I see Dr. Ismaila Muhammad watching from Abuja. Somebody also connecting, Amin Manu, watching from Borno. Prof, you've said we should believe in ourselves. You should move. I think one of the key things you said that really struck a chord in me is how you were able. So in all your stories, you try to mingle with progressives. Try to mingle with progressive. Or maybe I should put it this way: you have the eye to identify progressive, and you acknowledge the strides that you have made, and you move close to them. So some other person, they fly from wherever you're flying from to Tanzania and not have the initiative to spot the cousin of the president, you said? You know, I usually tell young people, money is in people. Money is really not in pockets. Money is in people. The more connection you're able to make with progressive people, the more your life moves forward. I want to ask another question, right? Specifically targeted to vets in Nigeria. Okay, Dr. Gani is also saying, well done, Professor Fasina. We appreciate the perspective you've shared. Another thing I want every of our participants to do, this also helps our algorithm, especially for more people to benefit, is for you to click on the like button and like the video. And then, of course, after this meeting, you have the opportunity to share and ensure that more vets participate in this huge amount of knowledge and experience Professor Fasina is sharing with us in Nigeria and, of course, in Tanzania and to the rest of Africa. All right. So, some young professionals, right? They have this thought also that is the elder ones that are pushing down the profession, or they feel victimized, right? I've listened to all your comments. I never see any time where you paused and felt you're a victim, right? So were you born with that kind of thought, or somehow you stumbled on it? How did you? Because young people, they just feel, oh, the old ones are taking all the opportunity. In one of your comments, you said that if they've taken all the opportunities, how did you become a prof, right? My experience now even shows that there are plenty of opportunities yet to be tapped, right? But people feel, young animal health professionals feel that all the opportunities have been taken by old animal health professionals and there's nothing left for them. But there's no sign of you feeling victimized. Were you born with it or you learned it along the way?
Okay, thank you. If I tell you that the tendency not to be victimized is not there, I will tell you it's a lie, because I will be lying to you. Because in life, if you look at the whole world, if the whole world had been white, the world will not be beautiful. If the whole world had been blue or red or green, just one uniform color, it won't be beautiful. And if you don't have the negatives in your life, you can never have the positive. Indeed, if you don't have the negative of a picture, you can't have a good picture to produce at the end of the day. And the thing is that it is what you do with the negatives in your life that matters. It is not that it will not come. For example, let me give you an instance. Every negative opportunity I've had in life, I converted it to positives. Like when I was doing the interview to move to Pretoria as a lecturer, one of the first questions they asked me is that, do you have any question for us? I asked them, I said, is it possible to become a prof 5 years from when I joined? 5 to 7 years. I'd never lectured before that time. They said, well, young man, it's possible if you are able to. And I set the bar for myself, and I said, every year, this will be my minimum benchmark. And I achieved those benchmarks every year. And within 5 years, I was confirmed a professor in Pretoria.
Wow.
That's one thing. Secondly, in terms of when I started with MVRI. Yeah, the opportunity for growth then was limited. It's not as if maybe you have a person specifically victimizing you, but the system we met on ground make it difficult for progress at that time. The first thing we did was that we, the young vets, we met with some of our some of the management, and we told them, no, let's create more opportunities. Before, MVRI used to have one director, one assistant director, and that is all. And so most of the other bosses were stuck in chief. We created opportunity immediately, created 3 directorship positions, moved the director to executive director, created position for assistant director, created other positions. So now we open up the opportunity for ourselves. So people are able to move up. A lot of even our seniors, they benefited from it. So it was easy for us also to move up the ladder. Like you talk about the fact that I get 2 PhDs. I was pursuing my first PhD on scholarship. Then I was given a mandate to redivert and go to something else. I was first frustrated and said, people don't like me here. Say if that's the case, I will finish my first PhD. I will do the second PhD. It will help me to build my publication record. And before I finish the 2 PhDs, I have over 100 publications.
Wow.
So it is what you do with the negative things in your life that matters. It is not as if they will not come. But so don't see it as somebody intentionally target me to finish me up, doesn't want me to make progress in this profession. The field is so wide enough that each and every one of us can make progress.
So I think I want to thank you for that. If you're watching, Professor Fasina said the rain that falls on us all. It's what we do with it that matters. So the victimization you feel, everybody who had succeeded also felt it, just that they responded to it in a different manner. I want you to, Abubakar Sani is watching from Sokoto. I see somebody watching from Abia. Because our time is, we really have just 5 minutes to round up, and there are two more critical questions I need to ask Prof Fasina before he leaves. Hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done that. Let's keep the conversation going. Prof, you are the country team lead for ECTA, right? You were there in Kenya 2016 to 2017. Now you are now in charge in Tanzania. So most of these opportunities from ECTA, from WHO, from FAO, from all these international organizations, I see that you have quite a handful of experience in that. If a young vet who is listening to you, where can he grab those kind of information to act on it as soon as they are out?
Okay, thank you. The first thing is that, as I said, our education in most cases keep us behind. They'll tell you just do it slowly. Don't overstep your boundary. I remember the first time I bought a Mercedes. So one of my senior colleagues said, "How can you buy a Mercedes at your age?" I said, well, why can't I buy a Mercedes? That's the question I asked him. So you see, at times you need to also be forward looking, and you need to be bold to ask for opportunities. For example, the first time I joined, I actually did the first work for FAO. I bidded with my professors, and I beat them hands down when it comes to it. And maybe by qualification, I may not beat them, but maybe by the passion and commitment I showed, they think they will get the better value from me, and I was selected. I don't even know how to. I was trying to dodge some of those professors because I have to go back to University of Ibadan and see them. So that is the thing. And when I came in for the FAO position now as a country team leader, I was actually headhunted. I was sitting in my office in Pretoria, and I got a call and they said, "Please send your CV. We are looking for candidates for this position." And I sent my CV. Later, I asked them, "What is the job all about?" They told me what the job is all about. I said, "Please don't submit that CV I sent. I will revise the CV and resend a different version." Because the one I sent before was academic. You know, I was in the university as of that time, so it was purely academic. But now I see what they need is a team leader who must have administrative experience, who must have field surveillance experience and all those things. And I've had some of these experiences in the MVRI. Even when I was preparing my first CV, even the student leadership position I have, I put it. I said, I've been student leader, managing this number of students, this and that, and all those things. And I tell you, when I send my revised CV, do you know what they did? They called me later and said, "We've dropped all the other persons. When can you start?" That become an interview. So you see, the way you package yourself also matters. The way you present yourself matters. And these opportunities are always there. So one of the things I found out is that even most of us Africans, we are afraid. You say, "Oh, FAO or UN organization, they will never take a vet. They will never take me coming from Nigeria." No, that is not true. The opportunities are always there. And what I found out is that, like people from Eastern Africa here and Southern Africa, they grab a lot of this opportunity. Most of the positions available for us in Africa are taken up by the Francophone African persons, or the Eastern African or the Southern African. So if you go to the FAO website, you set vacancies at FAO or career at WHO or any of these UN agencies, the vacancies are always there. I tell you, in the last 2 months, I've seen more than 20 of those vacancies. Indeed, as we speak now, there are 4 currently on the FAO website.
Wow.
For vets alone. Indeed, the last time I was talking with one of the assistant director general, who happened to be an animal scientist, he told me point blank, said, "You this vet, you are always taking everything. You create a whole department for yourself, yet you still bid with us in other departments." I said, "Sir, because our profession exposes us to everything, so we are qualified for everything."
So I think so. If you're here and you are a vet or you're an animal health professional, Prof Fasina has already said that There are 4 vacancies waiting for you in the FAO website. I hope you're not going to ask me where was FAO website. Because that we will need to seize that from seize a certificate from you. Damilola is watching from Australia. Ruben said, good presentation, Prof. Taiwo Makinde, a long story. I have just one more question. But if you've not hit on the thumb up button, if you like what you're hearing, I want you to do that. If you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I want you to take a moment, just click on the subscription button, so that more of these master classes, when they come, you can participate. Prof has shared extensive thoughts today. He mentioned strongly that we should believe in ourselves. You should also package yourself well, because we really don't package ourselves well. You should be aggressive with opportunity. Prof, I'm going to combine 2 questions in one, because I have to just ask one more question. Right. First is that, if you do you have any opportunity to accept mentees? Somebody likes what you're doing, finds your energy useful, wants to connect with you. Do you have a structured program of ensuring that there's something somebody can always gain from you methodologically? Secondly, if you have a last word for the teeming young animal health professionals listening, I know a lot of people will be saying, if they grow up, including me, we want to be like you. If you have a last word for us, what will it be? Go ahead, Prof.
Okay. So thank you for that question. Currently, I work in FAO. FAO is a member country organization. Like every country I get to, I create opportunity. Indeed, when I was in Kenya, I created opportunity for mentorship and for internship, for volunteership and all those things. And fortunately, we have some students working in the University of Nairobi there. And the first person that benefited from it actually happened to be a Nigerian. So somebody was asking me, did you intentionally create this position for him? I said, I never know he's in this place. And the good thing is that immediately that guy finished, he went back to Nigeria. He is actually currently leading one of the World Bank program appeals program.
Mm.
He's one of the state coordinator as we speak now.
Wow.
So also when I moved to Tanzania, yeah, because it exposed you to UN opportunity. Once you have the good understanding of the UN system, it is possible for you. Also, when I moved to Tanzania now, I've created, like, we've had more than close to 30 Tanzanians now that have served as intern under us, and it's paid internship. We pay them for their internship. Each of them get paid $700 a month, and for the field work, they get paid separately for the field work. So, like I said, I mentioned that it's a member country organization. I cannot create opportunity here for Nigerians now. But for example, when the FAO rep was coming to Nigeria, I mandated him, please make sure you put effort to start ECTAD. And the person who is the deputy FAO rep there, Dr. Mohammed, is also a vet. I talked to him also, and immediately I was happy that they created ECTAD. Now that's an opportunity. And I've told MVMA, for example, the Vet Council, you need to sit with ECTAD and tell them, let them know these are our program. How do vets benefit from the programs here? For example, either the private or the public veterinarians, they have opportunity to partner with ECTAD and work together to deliver. The ECTAD will be having maybe almost $1 million program every year for the country. If you don't speak, the money we finish at the year, it will revert. Whatever is not used will revert back to the headquarters. So it's now dependent for the ministry in Nigeria, plus maybe the private organization, plus MVMA and all those to design opportunity for us. That's one. In terms of mentee, I take mentee. Indeed, I had opportunity to have moved to US to go and lecture there. I refused. I said, I am an African. I want to stay in Africa. I think there are enough opportunity here in Africa. And under my wing, I've had more than 40 master's PhD students that I've trained.
Wow.
And even when I was leaving the University of Pretoria, I have the opportunity of not taking any student again because I have enough job for me here. But I continue to take students without being paid anything. I continue to take master student, PhD student, Even as we talk now, a PhD student is coming in under my wing. So it is actually the job of all of us to create opportunity for the young professional. You see, the more we see the people following us doing well, the better even our own esteem in the profession is. So we need to create opportunity. Every opportunity we have as senior professionals in the field, we should use it to create something which other can benefit from. You may never know. Your children may also come tomorrow. Like one of my kids now is also already taking interest in becoming a vet and was already asking me questions. So that is what I think we should all be doing. It should not be the job of one person. It's not only the director, it's not only Dr. Nasir, it's not only this. Every opportunity we have, we create something and make sure somebody else benefits. That's how I would like to answer that question. But in terms of providing remote mentorship and all those things, I do it for quite a lot of Nigerians too.
It's a brilliant day. It's a brilliant presentation. It's a brilliant energy this afternoon. You've unclogged a lot of things. More importantly, I think you've just suddenly unleashed an energy in us to be aggressive with opportunities, open our eyes more to uh, things around us, associate with progressive people, believe in ourselves, and then be a go-getter. Because obviously, from your CV down to your achievements, you've almost always gone for a goal and you've gotten it. And then when you now mention that for internship you pay like $700, that's almost $1,000. You know, I was looking at the comments. I wanted to see if some of us in Nigeria wants to port to Tanzania. But again, opportunities are everywhere. We have them in Tanzania. We equally have them in Nigeria. If you've not struck the like or the thumb up button, I want you to do that. I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that more of this masterclass, when they come in, you can have the opportunity to participate. We can't be grateful enough, Professor Fasina. This is about the second time we're listening to you, and it's obvious that we want to keep listening to you. We'll keep knocking at your door. More importantly, we'll keep tapping from your experience and want to say, as a community of animal health professionals in Nigeria and indeed Africa, we want to say thank you for availing yourself, for sharing your experience, and more importantly, for sharing your heart with us. We will keep in touch, and then the community will almost always get in touch with you for further things that we could do together to strengthen ourselves and then to improve the animal health practice in Nigeria. Dr. Professor Fasina, we thank you. And please, everyone, have a one. Okay, identity to read. Oh, what was it? Some people will need your identity. So please, we could share his email. Can you just we could share his email. You could just, on the on the chat button once the live program is off. Please stay in touch. By Thursday, we'll be having another masterclass by Dr. Gani Enahoro. He will be talking about entrepreneurship, what you can do with without money. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.